Well, we are back right now with our GMA cover story. Just 5 days remain to get Americans and allies out of Afghanistan. And right now we are joined by the U.S. Ambassador to Afghanistan, Ross Wilson, right there in Kabul this morning. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for being with us here on Good Morning America. I want to start with this alert that came out overnight warning American citizens to avoid the airport there in Kabul because of specific security threats. What happened? What were those threats, and what's the level of threat right now?
Good morning. I can't get into the specifics of the threat information, but it was clearly regarded as credible, as imminent, as compelling. Our intention was to urge Americans and frankly others not to come to the airport. For American citizens in particular, we are working other ways on an individualized basis to assist them in getting to the airport in a safe and secure manner. Being part of these huge crowds that remain around the gates and entrances to the airport is dangerous. We're obviously concerned about our own people as well.
Yeah, we have seen those crowds grow in recent days, of course, as this deadline for August 31st approaches. So right now, today, can Americans who need to get to the airport to get out of this country on a flight out, can they get out? What is the status of evacuations?
So we continue to work with American citizens in getting them to the airport and through the checkpoints and on to the airfield. We're doing it on a fairly individualized basis that involves telephone calls, either from Washington or in the last 24 hours or so from people on our staff here at the embassy in Kabul to talk them through specifically where to go, what to look for, what to expect. And for those who need help and assistance, to provide that help and assistance, if that is what would make the difference in enabling them to get out of the country.
The Secretary of State has said that there are 1,500 some odd Americans left in that, American citizens left in the country. If they cannot make it to that airport today or over the next few hours, will you be using helicopters to evacuate them at other points in Kabul?
Well, I think as has been reported, we have used U.S. military aircraft to evacuate, to gather people and evacuate them to the airport and onward out. That's kind of the exception. Obviously, our operating in Kabul, in the city of Kabul, presents some particular challenges. Our primary effort, as I suggested earlier, is to work on an individualized basis to advise people exactly where to go. There are safe ways to get here. There are relatively safe ways to access the airport, and we're doing everything we can to facilitate that.
Sir, there are reports this morning that U.S. evacuations will end in 36 hours. Is that the case, or will you continue to evacuate people up until that very last minute before the clock strikes September 1st?
I don't want to give a specific timeline. We will do as much as we possibly can to get as many out as we possibly can for as long as we possibly can, while there is sufficient security that's provided for us, and no less important for the travelers themselves, provided by U.S. military forces.
Sir, Mr. Ambassador, I know you share this concern for our Afghan allies, and there is growing concern for their safety right now. They have put their lives on the line to help our country. They are in grave danger, facing threats from the Taliban. Their lives are in danger. How will they get out of this country if there is no American military presence there to protect them?
Well, I think the priority that we attach to our Afghan partners and friends in this country is demonstrated by the fact that over 100,000 people have been evacuated out of this country over the course of the last 10 days or so, which is unprecedented, I believe, in world history. Our primary focus, I'll be direct on this, has been American citizens. That's the charge from President Biden, and that's what we've been working on most aggressively. We have also worked very aggressively to facilitate the evacuation of nationals from European and other countries who are here, to facilitate the evacuation of those who work for us, and as well as those who have worked for us, the so-called special immigrant visa pool. Each of those presents big challenges. Our effort is focused on getting the most in those categories that we possibly can out, with special attention to American citizens.
Sir, isn't it fair to say that as of next Tuesday, most of those people, those allies who helped us, will not be able to get out of that country if we are not there to protect them?
Uh, there undoubtedly will be people in this country who would like to get out, who will be unable to. A central part of our diplomacy here is with the Taliban through the military channel that we have, through the channel that still exists in Doha with the Taliban Political Commission, through other means that we have to set up a situation where we have assurances that people will be allowed out of this country, that we, the United States and our European allies and others will be able to facilitate travel of people that they are interested in. I know the Germans put out a statement, I believe yesterday, regarding their work in this effort. We are working hard along those lines. Our presence, the line we have used in this country for years and years, refers to an enduring partnership, and that enduring partnership with the Afghan people, including to get those out who want to get out, who worked for us, who served us, who helped advance our interests here, will continue and remain a central priority of American policy in this country.
Ambassador Wilson,
for
we thank you for your time this morning. Thank you so much.